Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a male empath, and I just like having little talks on the way I feel about things, and I feel pretty good. Moved me to do this video. I was gonna take the rest of the evening off, but I was watching some episodes. There ain't a lot going on in the world, so I was going back and watching episodes of Bless This Mess because I moved out here from Nebraska. They do a good job. Their depiction of Midwest, I think. So I enjoy it. It's like hanging out, there without being in the freaking Arctic freeze tonight. Because it ain't so bad here. It ain't so bad. I'm cozy. So, it's probably about 50 degrees. That's freaking hot. I mean, I don't even need this hoodie on. I'm just in it because I'm cozy. I took a nice hot shower and I'm just keeping the heat in. Anyway, so to finish off what I was saying on the last video, is that a lot of people reacting right now, they're shorting out, their psyches are shorting out, and because, not a lot of people know how to handle their emotions, and heck, how many people are taught to go into them and feel them? Oh my goodness, I have a Joker mustache from the Grape Juice. I drink a big old drink that my friend Pam gave me. It's just grape juice, and I was trying to get rid of it before it turns. That is hilarious. I am such a freaking literally a clown. I can't even help it. That is so rad. That just, hey, okay, hey. I'm like, why do my lips look funny? I look like some of these women that I will talk about in my story later on that I watched in the background at the CMAs. I didn't even check myself before I started this video. Oh, well. Any remnants, all this have grape juice. Wow. So, what I was starting off, and it kind of fits to the Joker, that's what happened is, man, when people get freaking hurt, their feelings hurt over and over and over again, that each time, if you don't get to have an outlet for those emotions and those pains and hurts and stuff, you don't have an outlet for that energy to channel it, then it builds up, and then, like, when the next time you're disappointed, you're feeling not just that disappointment, but all the disappointments that your freaking soul has ever experienced in all of its incarnations. They just can't even stand it, so they're shorting out, and that's why people are taking guns to schools and freaking. And in China, there's a lot of freaking and a lot of it's related to astrology too, and karma and all that whatnot. But a lot of it's interesting in China that their psyche plays out in stabbings. That's really interesting to me, is that there's a lot of stabbings going on too, and that comes from a darker place, because freaking, and that happened here, with the Slender Man and the girl that got stabbed 19 times. God bless her. I said in videos that 2 times in videos that she died, and so I keep having to correct myself because she didn't. Anyway, so all this astrology is bringing up the shadow stuff, sides of people that, and when they haven't dealt with it, the more they stuff it, more it's going to come out sideways. And the older you get, if you get to live long enough in this incarnation, sometimes people lose their minds, but they fall into their heart. But sometimes their heart space is freaking, it's pretty dark and gross, so they just go back and revert, and it's like, it's living with their subconscious outwardly, and some people are just creeps. It's just how it is. Some people are perverts. It's just how it is, It's just how it is, and they're the ones that are attracted to the really good people, and that's why freaking, it's like good people continually get freaking victimized and fall for things, and I'm here to help people listen to themselves, teach people to listen to themselves, use their own discernment, I don't care how hokey it sounds, I don't care if, like, you meet someone and they're like, everything about them is just like, they're your ideal person, except that, I don't know, maybe they freaking wear socks and sandals and you can't stand that, or you used to know a total D-bag that did that. There's your red flag. I'm talking like stuff like that, people that always discount that, their inner knowing and stuff. I'm like, no, that's the stuff you need to be listening to. So anyway, fast forward a little bit because I don't want to be too long. So I was watching. So that's what I'm seeing play out is people's, their dark, their shadowy stuff coming out. And it's important that that happens so that people can get help with that stuff. I don't think people are, needed. They might be locked up forever and ever, but at least there's some solace to be found for them, and maybe they can redeem themselves in some kind of way. But we're not there yet. People are still just tapping into the energies of freaking what the heck is going on with the world and where it's going, because people ain't into woo-woo, and I've been woo-woo my whole life, so I'm just here to be a guide. So, I know how to read the signs. People do. Sometimes you're in a grocery store and you see somebody, just get people away from them. It's alright, let somebody else, let those guys that freaking wearing their uniforms that aren't ironed, that their freaking shirts are busting from their, all their gear, and pay themselves 90, 120,000. Let them sort it out. That's what they get paid for. But I at least know how to want to teach just people out in public to recognize signs of people that you need to get away from. Because sometimes it ain't always obvious. So anyway, I was watching. One cool thing about YouTube is you can go back and watch stuff. And when I was at the grocery store earlier, I was dancing around, listening to my music, had my headphones on, and I was dancing around like I always do, and freaking bebopping, and the dude in front of me, he's probably, I don't know, mid-60s, 60, he and his wife, mid-60s, and he's like, good for you. He motioned that. He pointed at me and gave me a thumbs up, and I put my earphone back, and I said, life is better when you have your own soundtrack. He's like, yeah, and don't start for something. And so that, I'm like, he engaged, in a positive way. Usually freaking people just pass me. I'm dancing in a line. People will freaking go wait in a longer line just because they feel awkward from the energy of my presence. So he and I started talking, and he was like, mentioning the CMAs on. I'm like, yeah, we don't have cable, but I'll have to check it out, right? And we were talking about, music that we used to listen to. I'm like, a lot of these kids don't even know how freaking wonderful music is, because you see it in the comments that even they say themselves, is like, the crap they make today is just stupid. Well, freaking go back and let me help you. Let me recommend some music to you, and these are all the music that I love, all the oldies, the classics. Elvis is cool, and I love people that like him and stuff, but I'm talking like, Crystal Gayle and freaking, I was never really a Merle Haggard fan, because I knew some girls that, I knew that's how I know so many of what the seedy side of people are, is because I know the girls that these guys back in the 80s like hanging out with, the young ones, and that's the sickness that's being revealed in all over the world right now. So anyway, that kind of fits into the storyline too. But the interesting thing is the cool thing is I went back and I was watching the excerpts from the CMAs that was on the other night, and Halsey was on there, and I'm a fan of her. I think that she's a freaking fine example for young women, and she's versatile, and freaking, if our vibes are freaking in line and I vibe high enough and whatnot, maybe I'll run into her one day. I'd love to be a Heyoka to just freaking that takes pictures, that I can come and just like watch these shows, get my Heyoka pass. I'll get a press pass if you want. I'll do whatever I need to do, but I'd love to be the Heyoka that gets, the perspective of, gives the world my perspective, because I see everything backwards. That would be fun. And I'd dance, I'd try to stay out of the way and not make too much of a production, because I know that they got a show, and the show ain't about me. But I would love to be a little blessing, because I like award shows, and I love freaking going to the opera, and I freaking love, experiencing things. I just hate all the crap that goes along with it, and all the lines and all that nonsense, So, and it was real neat to see. On one stage, they were doing a tribute to Loretta Lynn. And I was like, oh my God, I was like, because I remember where I was, and Crystal Gayle came out and sang, I gotta make your brown eyes blue. And that was like my first favorite song. I remember I was like my first, in this incarnation, that I used to just throw myself back and forth and sing that song. 'Cause we didn't wear seatbelts and stuff like that. We had a Chevy Nova, and I just stand up in the back seat, and throw myself around singing that song, and it just brought me so much joy. Music has always been my best friend because people, well, have not. So, and I grew up in Reading, man. So anyway, so, it was weird, but there's so many people, and I'm like, who are these people in the audience? Who are they? They like Botox and freaking plastic surgery everywhere, and these freaking, like, the entertainment industry just, that's the part I don't like about it with all the fake stuff, but, you know, it's everywhere. It's not just in the, it's all over the world. It's at every level, you know, it's at the bowling alley. It's fake is fake. People are always trying to misrepresent themselves, but I read through that crap, and I teach other people how to read through that crap too, or believe in themselves enough to not buy into it. Oh gosh, 10 minutes, 11 minutes. So, but that was, I mean, it brought tears in my eyes. I was just like, oh my God, you know, that's what people need, is to tie in the past from the present to keep the future from becoming as dark as it's been this whole entire time, you know. So it's rad, you know, that, that's what I was telling the people at this store today, at this market. I'm like, well, that's what is cool, is because if parents are doing their job right, what they should have been is if they're listening to cool music, you know, playing that in the house, and then their kids are remembering that, and then, you know, they're playing that, and then their kids are hearing it, and they're, you know. And the one guy, he just looked disappointed. He's like, there's no country music anymore. He's like, there's no country music isn't country music anymore. And I said, yeah, I understand that. Well, I took a music class, and I understand the progression of music, you know, and once the genre is gone, it evolves. It always evolves and works because everything changes past of what its present state is, you know, unfortunately. That's why people get so nostalgic and love the music of the days of old, because it reminds them of certain times and things and less crap, you know. So, but it was just really wonderful to see all these people celebrating, you know, this music. And I was like, I didn't even know how country I was, you know. I didn't mean to be a hick either, so now that makes me a freaking retarded bastard hick. Add to the list now. That ties in with my earlier video, but because I grew up in Reading. I mean, you're from there. You don't even bother with the G. You're from Reading. Freaking even the soil's hard and red. You know, stained everything. It's just a hard place to live, man. Energy-wise, man, a lot of Hell's Angels stuff. You know, you gotta be tough to live there. You know, so or not. I don't know. But that was my experience there, and I'm looking to go back here pretty quick before too long. So, but I remember, like, when I was in high school, there was one top 40 station, and they freaking changed the format so that we just had like 3 country stations for 5 years. People thought it was a joke. They're like, nope. It changed it from, yeah. So that was like, I don't know. Then you could get, if it was a clear day, you could get stuff from the river down at the Chico University, but then, you know, things changed again. So, but that's the thing, is cool that, and I'm going to end up on this, is that to see the rise of the divine feminine energy filling that whole entire room, you know, and that's what's going to heal some stuff. And I'm here to help on that venture too in any way I can. Hope you have a rad evening. Peace.